Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Om Vasudevaya Om Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Vasudevaya Vasudevaya Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Om Vasudevaya Om Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Vasudevaya Vasudevaya Sri Lord Shiva Bhagavati Sri Ma Durga Bhagavati Sri Hare Rama Bhagavati Om Shri Hare 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 Om Shri Hare 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 Shri Hare Krishna Bhagavati Shri Siddhartha Bhagavati Shri Lord Christ Bhagavati Om Shri Hare 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 Om Shri Hare 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 Shri Lord Shiva Bhagavati Shri Ma Durga Bhagavati Shri Hare Rama Bhagavati Om Shri Hare 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 Om Shri Hare 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 Shri Hare Krishna Bhagavati Shri Siddhartha Bhagavati Shri Lord Christ Bhagavati Om Shri Hare 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 Om Shri Hare 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 Shri Ramana Bhagavati Shri Punjaji Bhagavati Shri Mujiji Bhagavati Om Shri Hare 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 Om Shri Hare 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 Shri Lord Shiva Bhagavati Om Shri Hare 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 Om Shri Hare Hare Hare
Ananta,
Hmm?
I don't know if you can hear me. You're unmuted. You're muted, I mean.
I should be okay now, my love. Is it fine now? Still don't hear? Oh. Hmm. Still no audio? It's good now. Okay. Maybe Claire can't hear me.
Ananta?
Yes, my dear. Oh, is that audio coming from the... Hey everyone, very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Sri Mujiji ki Jai. Thank you all so much for joining in. And our moderator can't hear us today, so we'll see how it goes. But if you're in the hangout, the way to ask questions is to unmute your mic and to speak. And on YouTube chat, you can post your questions over there, and we will look at them. You know, every time I've said that we'll keep it very, very simple, it seems, even to me, it starts to sound very abstract. But we have two new friends here today, so let's see how it goes. So what are we speaking about fundamentally? Fundamentally, what we are saying is that we've always believed ourselves to be an identity which has the label whatever our name is. Always believed ourselves to be this. Our goals have been about this. Our goals have been about where the life of this identity has to go. Our plans, our worries, our problems, our relationships. The, the body belongs to this identity. But what is found is that very few have actually had the openness to question this identity and to say, who is this one? So this is a very rare happening, and very few people you'll find anywhere who will say, I'm in this self-exploration to try and understand who I am. You might meet a few who say, I want to know the meaning, the purpose of life, the meaning of life. But very, very even fewer than that, you will find who actually say, I'm not sure who I am actually. This is what I want to discover. And immediately when this kind of question is asked, you will find that very quickly this voice from inside our head will come with some answer or some resistance. He'll say, no, what's the point? What do I get by discovering this? Or this is not really something I'm interested in, or something like this. But you see, if you were to just look, you will find that everything is based around this sense of identity. Everything seems to be built around this sense of identity. And it's a kind of hypnosis that we never question who is this I. We strongly believe that I am this. And if I were to put you on the hot seat, you might say, but I am this body. Seems clear. I am this body. You see? But this body identification does not survive just a few simple questions. You see? So if I was to say, is it the body that has the problem with relationships? Is it the body that has a problem with boss at work? Is it the body that has all of those other issues about security and money and wanting to get somewhere? Is it the body which is worried about the health of the body? So very quickly, if you were to just check like this, You say, no, it's not the body, it is me. It is me who is concerned about all of these things, including the health of the body itself. So, just to come to this point is not usually found in the world, because many actually go around believing still that I am a person, but when asked, they will say, oh, yes, I'm not interested in spirituality, I know I'm this body. So then, if you were to ask who you had in your last 20 problems, how many were directly correlated with the body? I'm not looking at Satsang, right? So you will find that very few were directly correlated to the body. So whose problems were these? Whose problems were these? Can we find this one? That is the exploration that we are doing here. And very often when it is asked like this, then you say, yes, yes, I know I'm not the body, but I'm the soul which lives inside the body. Just the concept. Just the concept of this soul or something. Because truly it is not our living experience that I am the soul. See, so when we put a label to something, we actually stop the introspection. Just by labeling it and saying, oh, I found the label, that means I know something. You see, that's the trouble. That's why even labeling as awareness, consciousness is not really recommended. We can use the labels conversationally. Because once you hear these words, awareness or consciousness, oh yes, yes, that. I know what it is. So here we are the most unpopular form of satsang. I didn't tell you this before satsang started. Most unpopular form because it's very direct like this. Because many cannot stand the heat of this question, who am I? When this question is asked, who am I? Either our mind starts distracting us and we are not able to hear the question clearly, or it comes up with some label or some answer or some resistance which is preventing the looking of this question in itself, prevents the looking at this question in itself. So it is the rare one who comes to satsang and then stays. Comes to satsang and stays because it needs some openness, and usually this openness is that this sense that I've run out of moves in this life. Usually we're not open to this kind of introspection if we still feel we have a lot of moves left in this world. And that's why it said that very, very unpopular form of satsang is to be here and to directly ask this question, who am I? And to see, you will see, if you were to be open and just to ask, you will see a lot of this what I'm speaking about. You will see this energy called the mind, which is coming up with thoughts in response. Many have not even noticed like this. We go through our entire lives thinking that it is me talking to myself through my thoughts. Isn't it? It seems like it's my own voice which is communicating with myself through this thought. But we never ask this question, if it is me, then why do I need a voice to talk to myself? If it is me, then why do I need this voice to talk to myself? Because actually this is the voice of the identity, it is the voice of the ego, which is the sense of being separate from everything else. I exist as an individual is the sense of the ego. I exist as the person is the sense of the ego. But when we look for this person, we cannot find it. It sounds strange maybe. The first time when you hear like this, it might sound very strange. That these ones are from a different planet or something. It can sound like this. But if you were to check, you will find that no person actually has ever existed, has no tangible existence even at the level of atoms and molecules. So I'm not saying that, not yet saying that this world is an illusion. Not yet saying that it's Maya, it's illusion. I'm not saying any of that yet. But I'm saying this person cannot be even found in this realm of atoms and molecules. That is why I call it the second level illusion, the second level delusion. That which does not even exist phenomenally, we think that I am that. Just a idea, just a belief. Then what happens? The mind will pick up its trump cards. It will say, it cannot be that 7 billion people in the world are wrong. Everyone is believing themselves to be a person and they're going around their lives. It cannot be that 7 billion are wrong in just this group of 10. If you count the internet, then 40, 50 are right. Cannot be. This is what comes up. So that's why it needs some openness for this question, for the exploration of who am I. Because the mind and the world has ready answers for us and has ready resistances. What's the point? What will I get if I answer this question? First, tell me what I will get. It will come. This kind of resistances will come. So, but for those who are open to this question, if you're open to this question, our attempt here is to look at this completely directly, very directly, without even relying on some concept, without relying on any scripture, without relying on any knowledge that we might have learned from the past. Just to see what is here right now. Because if I am real, then I must be here now. Isn't it? So I must be able to check on what I am right now. Why do I need to read a book to understand who I am? No matter how holy or scriptural the book might be. Why? If God is here, then God must be here now. Why must there be a God who's in hiding somewhere and I must do hundreds of years of practice to find it? And in the same breath saying God is everywhere. So all this concept, all these ideas, first we throw away. We throw away. And we check for what is truly present right now. Because the real must be here now. And for those who are open to just this simple checking, who am I in this moment? You will find that as this discovery dawns on you, you will never confuse yourself to be a mere idea again. You will never confuse yourself to just be an identity, a set of concepts again. And things like suffering, the idea of personal suffering will seem alien to you. You see? The trouble that can come is that we sometimes want to hold on to the identity and make this identity free. So we never truly look. We still rely on the presumption that I am this person, and we attempt to give enlightenment or come to a point of enlightenment or freedom for this imagined personality. And this cannot happen. You see, there is no such thing as a free person. There is no such thing as an enlightened person. Enlightenment or freedom is freedom from this ego, freedom from this personal identity itself. It's okay so far? You can stop. You can stop me and ask, oh, this didn't make sense, or this made sense. So in this group, we are a bunch of crazy ones who are exploring this kind of question very directly. And once we have discovered the truth about who we are, then momentarily the old beliefs, old ideas, old suffering might come, just momentarily. But you cannot truly confuse yourself to be that identity. The identity is only the belief in some concept I have about myself. I'm an honest person, I'm spiritual, I'm free, I'm bound. All of these are just concepts we may carry about ourselves. So we can say that the belief in the concept is the identity, or we can say belief in a set of concepts I have about myself is the identity. But ultimately, what is to be seen is just ideas. And to just understand it as a concept is not enough. Because what happens when you understand it as a concept, it's very common. You see this very, very often that the identity itself picks up this aspect of now having become free. And even this sense of now I'm free is not enough for this imagined entity. You see? It wants also to prove to everyone that now I'm free. And not only that I am free, I am freer than everyone else. You see? So it has to come out there and say, yes, it's not just You must accept my freedom. You must also accept that now I'm in the Hall of Fame of freedom. And they find it very frustrating when this acceptance is not coming from the rest of the world. More and more you can see this. And that's why I think like Facebook are such beautiful platforms. Every day you can see new tricks of the mind, different tricks of the mind. And you can spot like this is so beautiful. The mantra of the mind is what's in it for me. But even with what's in it for me, it is not happy. See, it wants to be me first and preferably me alone. While inside doubting itself completely all the time. Oh, you're just speaking here, you're just speaking here. It wants the rest of the world to completely accept that this one is truly, truly beyond anyone else who has ever been free. And this kind of belief and concepts can lead to a lot of. So externally, we might want to project ourselves to be so free and so pure and so innocent. Inside, you're full of desire and full of need for approval and full of all these kind of tendencies. So then the question might come, so what do I do about this? If this is true, that this identity is just an idea, the ego doesn't exist, the person doesn't exist, how do I see this for myself? Well, first, before even I can see it for myself, is there a way for me to stop suffering? Then start like this. You say, yes, you say all of these things. I don't know yet if they're true or not. Maybe something rings true about them. But how do I see the truth for myself? This would be an auspicious question. So what I would then say is that first, let's rid ourselves of all this imagined suffering. All the imagined suffering because of relationships, because of security, because of state of the body, because of even finding freedom or not, finding meaning in life or not. So how do we, it seems like a big project to rid myself of my suffering. Actually, the question is longer than the answer. How do I rid myself of my suffering? Yeah. It's a simple medicine. It's a simple medicine, but very few will open their mouths and then follow it and then digest it. The medicine is just don't believe your next thought. Just don't believe your next thought. The simplicity itself makes it confusing for me. How can it be? How will my life go on? Who will take care of my responsibility? Who will take care of all these other things, job? And we see these resistances every day. I've seen it in the Satsang with Guruji in the past, the same stuff. In 1930s, in fact, when some of us read, when we do the broadcast, we read a book called Talks with Ramana Maharishi. So in that also, same question. Same question. Who will run my life? What is going to happen to my responsibility? So for hundreds of years, we've been asking the same question. But anyone who has truly experimented, played with this, finds that this life runs very naturally, very beautifully, without the intervention of the ego. It is only an idea that I personally am the doer of something. And you will not be able to accept these as words. But as you experiment with this, you will see that all is moving on its own, just like our heart is beating on its own. Come to this realization. Otherwise, what can happen is it's very common for us to see in satsang, many will come and state that yes, I'm not a person. I see that no person exists here. But what do I do now? Again, asking as a person. So, this sense of doership is one of the strongest pillars of the personal identity. And you then, because the mind can become noisy around this question, you'll say, okay, let's compromise. 90% of it God does, 10% of it at least I have free will. You'll see very common in our, even in India, you'll see that. Yes, yes, of course, everything is God's will, but you have to take responsibility, you have some. Mhm. So here we're questioning this idea of you. Who is this you who must take responsibility? We're not fearful to contemplate any concept, even the most sacred ones. I feel we can bring them into our own life and to see what is the truth right now. What we must not do is try and understand what is being spoken here. Let's not try and understand what is being spoken here. All you have to do is check for yourself. Is this not true for me? Is this not true what is being spoken? Because I don't want to leave you with another set of concepts. You've had enough concepts. In the millions and millions of books, you will find trillions more concepts. So here, not concepts. What you have to do is, something is spoken, you have to check and see, is this true for me or not? Without relying on any idea. Is this true or not? So I might say something which might sound radical, especially for the first time in satsang, it might sound radical. I say there is no person that exists. Sounds like crazy talk. But you must verify this for yourself. Don't take my word for it. See? He says that okay, body exists phenomenally, but even then there is no person. Is this true? Can I actually not find the person and show all these people here who are sitting listening to this stuff? Can I not show this person? People can show. And who can show me a problem without there being the idea of the person? Nobody can. All problems are personal, and no person exists. Not even a spiritual problem. There is no such thing as a spiritual problem. All suffering, all problems, first presume the presence of an individual me, the presence of an individual entity called I. And we are very quick to believe these stories of our problems of our suffering without investigating whether there truly is this individual I here. So if God is everywhere, then where is the room for I? Because there can be many concepts like this. Yes, yes. God is everywhere, but He made me, to run my life in a certain way. So He made something which is out of God, so that, and feel that yes, it is me, which is me. Everything else is God. So there is God plus me, basically. What we are saying. Everything else is God, and there's a me. So if we start looking at these concepts, we start investigating them, you will realize that they're so funny, they're so ludicrous. And yet most of our lives go without any such investigation. There is truly nothing to get, truly nothing to get. So allow me to save you all from the trouble of this I got it identity. And also allow me to save you from the trouble of I never get it identity. There is nothing to get. If you live with the I got it identity, I'm telling you it will not be fun. You get it? You have to speak louder. I'm getting it. I'm in the process. So what have you got so far? So if you are in the process of getting, then there must be something you got so far. Yeah? Yes. This is not bad. Did you get something tangibly, so to speak, so that now these beliefs, these concepts don't seem as strong as they did? That's what I mean. If you're not going to get something, you will just see the stupidity of these concepts. That you will get. That this concept of the individual me is just silly.
One more benefit.
Yeah?
One more benefit.
One more benefit.
That benefit is suffering is very much reduced prior to coming here and now.
What about this statement, I want freedom or I am getting free, it's contradictory. But this I is the actually, the only problem. Because otherwise it's always freedom. But it have to be, freedom cannot be more freer.
Yeah.
Only this I, whenever we say I want to be free, but even who am I? If this I is, it may start from the identity, but this mind, wants to, experiment or wants to know. But at the end, this I would
Itself be washed away. And yet I remain. Isn't it? So this false sense of I person is washed away. And the true I, the unmoving, unchanging, that one remains.
But that I can have any name, any form. That I does not need.
Yes, doesn't mean
called as
any.
this I. Get. It can be anything.
It's actually because it is nothing. Then we can refer to it as any word. Devika says, in quotes first, and whenever, so she's saying that whenever I say I got it, life says slap. It is grace. So it's not even about humility. It's not that saying no, I didn't get it. I got it. Neither of those. If any question or something arises, you can ask.
Can I ask
Yeah.
you something like traveling?
Huh?
Yes.
Huh?
It is kind of a guidance that I am receiving, and I'm not able to see that whether it is correct from your mouth. Guidance says that I am using the excuses of Advaita to refuse to inquire, and if I will not inquire, then life will provide me suffering so that I could be open enough to inquire again. But the silence or the underlying peace that that is seen and that is gets clouded by the conditioned mind. I see that the inquirer itself is a pretense, is a thief, and there can be no freedom for the person as well. The concept. So, means I kind of feel that I don't know. I need a guidance from you also that means should I accept those guidance or not?
No, I feel you should forget about it and just moment to moment let life unfold on its own. And if it's unfolding, then also it might unfold in the sense where the question is asked. So this inquiry happens. And if it's not unfolding, then it's not unfolding. So there will be these tricks which can come, which can again try to make you the doer. So you have to just, if it feels like there's something I must do, just smell for it. See, because the trickster can play either role. Either it can say, do the inquiry, or it can say, no, no, now you don't need to. So either of these the trickster can also say. But you have to smell for it and see what is clear for me. Is there an inquirer? Is there one who does the inquiry? And no such one exists. Then even inquiry or not inquiry is God's problem. If there's no inquirer that exists, then to do the inquiry or not do it is also God's problem. No, but this is not general recommendation for everyone. You have to, that's why I said you have to smell for it and you have to see. That is it just an other excuse or is it really that I cannot find the inquirer? Then this itself, this contemplation itself is beautiful. You say, okay, I cannot find the inquirer who's coming to this conclusion. Then yes, silence. If you still find the presence of one who has concluded something about what is right or wrong to do in life, then that one also must be investigated. And nothing, it's just silence. In every moment, even if words are unfolding, it is not touching this silence of what I am. Any conclusion, now you will see this for yourselves, any conclusion that you could draw from this would again be personal or a strategy, isn't it?
Even if there is no peace,
Yes.
means the peace is clouded by the voice, then there is a kind of acceptance in it also. So I inquire also, but I don't have energy to go out throughout the day.
No, it's not required. So this is also very beautiful to see that even if our peace seemingly gets crowded by lots of things, this underlying acceptance remains. And this, I would say, is the underlying peace. You see? So although this outward peace might be getting troubled, it might even seem that the body is reacting and things like that are happening. But inside there's this unchanging acceptance. And then you will find that any kind of verbal guidance also is not going towards you. It's just that you're sitting in the presence and
It's exactly, exactly. It's like words not penetrate underneath the surface. So there is no need to forcefully undergo into these teachings again and again.
yes, yes, of course. And you might find that one day this presence itself is using your own body in a unique expression. It might not even be the teachings which you heard here or with Guruji or anything. It might just be a unique expression. So even everything which has been kept can be allowed to go. Just from this silence, whatever has to emerge, if it has to emerge, can emerge. Shankar says, Father, just as you say, the person cannot be free, It is felt here that the self cannot suffer, yes. So automatically, whenever there is suffering, means there is misidentification, yes. Exactly, you see. So whenever there is suffering, there is a misidentification. I picked up a belief, I picked up a concept which is not true. Therefore, the freedom from suffering is only just don't believe your next thought. And the thoughts can be very compelling now. You can say, but this is some sort of brainwashing. This is some sort of mind control. Actually, it is freedom from this hypnosis of the mind. So you will find that also when sometimes I say this, it is heard in some other way. So it feels like, oh, I must push away my thoughts, or I must ignore my thoughts, or something like that. But I didn't say that. So I want to clarify that when there is a thought, there are two forces which act on this thought. There is the force of attention and there is the force of belief. If you want to be miserable, you want to extract misery from the thought, you have to apply both of these forces. Just by one, which is attention, you cannot become miserable, you cannot suffer. See? So even if attention goes to a thought, and you are aware that this thought is coming, just by that act of providing attention to it, we cannot bring up a personal identity. It also means our belief that this has meaning for me, this applies to me, and this belief is much easier to control. Because I say, don't give your attention to an orange. Just make sure whatever you do, don't bring your attention to an orange. And you will find that an orange is trying to come. You see an orange, so attention goes. But don't believe you're an orange. So belief is a much easier energy to force to manage. Many of us have not even looked at these forces which have been at play. Awe, attention, belief, identity, all of this. In fact, this reminds me of a time where I was at Cisco, and some of you know the story. So I was at Cisco, and at Cisco in the evening we would have some discussion like this, some common, the ones who would resonate with some of this. So one day I just said, so, this voice in our head, so a friend of mine said, oh man, you have voices in your head, you better get some help. It can seem like that because the voice of this mind, this thought, seems like it is me. So I'm not counting that. This one must be hearing some other voices. He needs some medical assistance, some psychiatric assistance. So many of us have never even observed the presence of this stream of energy called thought. Just, oh, it's me, it's just me, it's me. Relying on this. Yes?
Right now, you're talking. I sense an I listening to all.
Yeah. You sense the I, which is listening to all of this, and this I is it the same one that senses. You said I sense that there is an I listening to this. So this I that senses, is it the same I that is listening? You sense that there is another I which is listening.
Yeah.
So
There's an I which is listening.
yeah.
It's like seeing. You feel that.
It's okay. So this is I which senses that there is an I which is listening. So which I is you? The prior one. So it can be that because there is truth in this, that it is consciousness itself which is speaking and is experiencing all these phenomena. Who are the witness even of this consciousness? But it could also be that there is a pictorial or some imaginary representation of an I, which is being sensed. So this I which is listening, would it be accurate to say that this is being itself?
I don't know, I get confused with the non-duality.
So this one, when I say, can you stop being? What happens? We can walk through it together. When you ask, can I stop being now? What is noticed?
I cannot stop existing.
Yes. So this sense that I exist, is this always there?
In the waking state.
In the waking state. So yes, this is being. So does it feel like this being is listening, or does it feel like now there's a third eye? Not the third eye. Third eye.
Not sure if I can make out
Just check like this. So there's a sense that there's an I which is listening. So this could be the sense of being itself, and then this would be accurate to say. And I am the witness of even this process of phenomenal listening, which is already what you're saying in your question. So all that needs to be checked is it the same being which exists here, or is it just some pictorial imaginary representation of the I? It's okay. It can seem little confusing, little subtle. Just slowly. Just dive into the question and let it unfold for itself. There's nothing you can do to aid this question. This is much beyond any identity. So this is just consciousness sorting it out for itself. So you must keep couple out of the picture. Just let the word sink in automatically. And then say, just check something. Don't rush into trying getting an answer. Just gently, gently. You got the question? Should I repeat it? So there is awareness even of this process of listening. And this listening seems to be happening to the sense of being that I exist. So only to check whether this is what I am sensing, or does it seem like there's another identity or an idea which can listen.
if I try to look for any attributes of this
Yeah.
listening, and find them. But then because of what I've heard earlier was asking about being
Yeah.
presence, and it's palpable. So it's not palpable here.
Yeah. So when you say I exist, what is it?
It's simple like this.
Yes.
I don't know when some and it must be like that for them. So you can say it's palpable. No, what is palpable? It's a sense for me.
Sense. And this sense will seem to become more and more tangible. Doesn't mean it's not there yet or you are not there yet, none of that. But as you keep going like this and contemplating, you will find that this sense of being, although initially seems completely invisible and transparent in a way, then becomes more and more tangible seen. Let's catch up with some chat on YouTube. Dennis says, that's what. So when Devika said, never, in the quote, I got it, life responded with slap. Then Dennis said that that's what I was referring to yesterday. Devika being free from I got it devil. And Bhagavati ji says, when the search began, I had no idea that I was even searching for something, let alone know what I was searching for. Searching was simply happening, and I slowly became aware of that. I feel at some level everyone is searching. At some level. And Dennis says, but even wishing this is another trap. Bhagavati ji says, now no searching is happening, simply that life is happening. Grateful to be free of that searching, but no sense of anyone who got something. Who could get something that is the absence of that one? Just letting it take care of itself. And Devika said, and if something got something, what or who would it be that got what? That's why we're so unpopular. And if something got something, what or who would it be that got what? And then she said, not to Advaita Sharif, I hope. It doesn't get any more than that. Ever Present said, do I have to first see ego, disidentify from ego, or is it enough to notice real self? Is there different way to awakening, or is there all the same way? Once you notice the real self, you cannot truly identify, isn't it? You cannot truly identify. So this seeming process of disidentification then itself is not required. As you say that I can just see what I really am right now. And all these imagined ideas of me have no power. So this itself is the disidentification from the self, from the false. So it is completely enough to notice the real self. Then the egoic idea cannot survive. Some, because mental resistance can be so strong that first we must go through this pointing, don't believe your next thought, so that all these resistances lose their power a little bit, and you're not distracted, and you can simply watch what is here now. But if you are able to just see like this simply, then no need for any other practice. There was a second part which was, are there different ways to awakening, or is there all the same way? There is no way. So we can say that all different, as unique as everyone's expression in this play of consciousness, just like every fingerprint is different, we can say that every way is different, or we can say that there is no way. Because when we say that every way is different, already means that there is no actual way. And that's why you'll find different teachers, different ones who have discovered the truth of what they are, sharing in different ways. Some will prescribe practices, some will prescribe meditation, some will prescribe yoga, and some will prescribe self-inquiry. From here, what seems best is just the simple pointing, don't believe your next thought. So everyone can have different expressions. And Aparna says, I had similar question. Thank you, Father. Once the self is seen, no need for false to be seen. Is that right? Once the self is seen, at the same time it is seen that the false never was, isn't it? That's why we can say that it is the false. The false never was. Only this, from the sense of that which is false, the only evidence we have of its existence is this voice called thoughts. And that is taken care of when we withdraw our belief from this thought. Actually, it sounds much more complex than it is. That's why I like taking this example, the cat example. Some of you have not heard. Suppose that from the time that you were very young, you were told that you are a cat. You had no mirrors, nothing. You had nothing to check. You were just told that you are a cat. You must walk on all fours and you must drink milk or whatever. So all of this was conditioned that you are a cat and you really had no means to check. So you grew up with this belief that I am a cat. Then suddenly you got transported to a different place, and there you met people, and they said, I'm a cat. I said, no, what are you talking about, a cat? All I see is a person, my body. It will take some time, isn't it? Because the conditioning is so strong that I'm a cat. Then you say, okay, I get you a mirror. When you see a cat, what do you see? No, I don't see a cat. You see? So this feeling that I'm a cat is still strong here. I still feel that I'm a cat. This is exactly what you hear in Satsang. I still think I'm a cat, I still feel I'm a cat. So how can you say I'm not a cat? Because we are checking, no? We are seeing in the mirror together. Can you see the cat? You know? But the evidence that we rely on is our feeling and our thought. It still says, okay, let's be a cat. Maybe this is a trick mirror. Maybe I'm not ready yet to see the mirror. All this can come. But all that is being pointed here is that no person ever existed. The ego is not real, it's just an idea. And then, so like this example we take, we also take example of the drop in the ocean which is convinced that it is a separate drop. And it is deciding whether to go left or right or what should it do next. So how to convince this drop that it is the ocean itself? Exactly what we try to do here. Show me where is the drop, where is it separate? Where is the person? So we have this very strong conditioning that I am a person, I'm an individual, I'm an entity, and this conditioning is what is being looked at. We are just checking. And I'm open. You might say that I found it. All of these people are silly. They looked for so long and they couldn't find person. I found it. Here it is. I'm open to that kind of response. So you must really check. And once you find that no person exists, then all the rest insights, whether it's consciousness, awareness, all that will come on its own. You don't have to understand any of this. Just enough to check, is there a person here? So we're getting rid of this cat conditioning, which has only been a belief. And just like this, you see, the since we were small and maybe through prior lifetimes, if you believe in reincarnation and things like that, then you will find that always you were told you are a person, you must be a good person, you must be like this is how you must lead your life, this is your hand, these are your hands, this is your body, always referred to as this person. So it becomes a very, very strong concept. Okay? And then when it is questioned for the first time, it can seem to bring up a lot of resistance. It might not even be now. Right now, everything might seem like Shanti, Shanti. But when you get back, you say, what was all of that? Yeah? You can see resistance can also come. Shankar says, beloved father, did not want to interrupt, but I must go to work now. Love you so very much. Thank you. Love you too, my dear. Have a good day at work.
Can I share something? Something is right.
Yes.
Love you.
But it feels like this life is kind of just happening in front rather than someone is living a life. Like if you're sleeping, then there will be some appearances in the dream state. Something is coming up and it will go on, or a different life that will start.
Yes, exactly.
In a similar way, uh, something prior to that is aware of this life, that life, whatever is happening, and it's just a presence. Even again, the description of that, someone is describing it, and then there is something that needs to be explained. but it's just emptiness.
Yes.
It's just a space and just the presence. Things will, seen or believed in that, and the I same, but the real I can even be a dog, it can even be a cat, it can even. It's just a belief. In a similar way, it has believed itself to its body as of now. But even right now, it can see or feel itself as a cat, as a dog, as a lion, as whatever, or even as a tree. It is the same I that is running through this. But again, this uh, concepts of our daily life, even of freedom, is happening in front,
Yeah.
rather than it has anything to actually to do with it.
Yes, exactly. That's why I said that even if you're deeply identified as the ego, in reality nothing has changed. Even if any identification is happening, already so much going on. Dream states, lives in those states, life in this state, all of this is happening, but in reality you remain unmoved, untouched from your true position as this eternal witnessing itself. Something coming up for you? Also, while I remember, I was at a meeting in the morning, and then on the way back, I logged on to Facebook on my phone, and I saw that Amaya had posted links to some books which are made up from the transcripts of Satsang. So I just wanted to say a big thank you to Amaya, to the entire transcripts team, to all the people who worked on the books, and to Jesh for bringing this project out there. So basically, it's a collection of many transcripts over the last 2 years, which have been edited very minimally. So you might feel, some of you are writers, so you might feel it's a little bit rough or something. It's basically minimal editing and just to keep the essence of the satsang present there. So big thank you to the Seva team that worked on this. All of you so beautifully. This transcribing is not easy, especially when it goes on for hours like this sometimes. So big thank you to the ones who helped to transcribe and to put the book together. So grateful, so grateful. May you get all the blessings from those who read the books. May all their blessings come to you in return for this beautiful seva that you have done. And these are just free to download. You can go to the website and you can download them. Even if we ever print them one day, we will just distribute them, is my feeling. And also very soon we'll have it available on the internet as blog, as in the blog format, so anybody can just read. Sometimes PDF is not that easy, so you can read it in small pieces blogs. Annette has a question. She says, can you speak of the poem by Rumi, Just Keep Quiet? Is it, in quotes, is it similar to not believing your next thought, or is there more to it? Thank you. I'm not aware of this one, my dear. I'm not a big Rumi expert, but if you post it here, then we can maybe see. But it sounds good already. Yes. Yeah. Yes. I feel like high-fiving. Increase this one. No, increase the. And now you feel your back inside the body? Where? Still there? Or? So that which there, what is that? What does it feel like? Or is it just a sensation? Yeah. When it feels like I'm inside the body again. Behind the eyes. So when you close the eyes, then we can look at different things like thoughts. So who is this one who is looking at the thoughts? What you can also check is you can just imagine right now that you are looking at the Eiffel Tower. Imagine that the Eiffel Tower is in front of you and your body has its eyes open and is looking at the Eiffel Tower. And it can seem like you are inside that body which is right now looking at this Eiffel Tower, isn't it? But where is that? You're inside that body looking at the Eiffel Tower which is imagined, or inside this body? You cannot tell. This body seems like it is that body. Or does it seem like there were two? Yes, but just like the sensation, there is also imagination of what is in front. You could be imagining that you're in front of your house in UK. And it feels like the body is there. So this one, to which the imagination is coming, and also the sensation of this body are coming. This one, how is it touched by any of this clay? one that sees the sensation, is it affected by it? Is there anything that we can say about this one? Does it have any attributes? As soon as you open your eyes, they're reminding me that I forgot to get the mic. Feels like there's a me. And who sees this? Is that the me? The one that sees, or the sense of the me is the me? Is the sense of me you, or is that one that is aware even of the presence or the sense of me? Is that you? So what does it mean? Sense of me means? What is it? Is it a sensation? Yeah. The whole story of me is where. Yeah. There is it. The story is made up of atoms and molecules. So when you say story is here, means what? These ideas are coming back about that. Oh, don't believe them. Hmm. What is being held? Is it you? You are watching all of this. That which is watching, can that be held? Is that saying that this should not be held? Is the watching thing? Yes, but when you check, you see that the watching is there. Can you show me how you are not this watching? Nothing is going to happen. So that expectation also can be kept aside. Something need to happen.
Something doesn't like what I'm
Doing, obviously. The ego will not enjoy being thrown out. Don't expect it to give you a going away party. Whatever the sense may be, you are the witness. You can never just be the sense. Then who is the witness? If you were just the sense of me, then who is the witness?
We notice the witnessing we are first here. So you think an individual feeling, this witnessing, you cannot say it's not me,
Yeah.
but it does not feel like an individual me.
Yeah. So it is not an individual me. It's just a witnessing. It is not anything at all.
But you question that it's not you.
Yeah.
No, you cannot say this is it's witnessing.
So you, what can you say, that it is here
It's here. It's here.
and you are where? You see, like this, then indirectly we have to infer that it is here, I am here, it must be I.
They also slightly
Yeah?
scared to say that.
Yeah.
It sounds like
A proclamation.
yeah.
Yes. That's why easiest to just report what you are seeing, because you're not proclaiming, you're just speaking what you're seeing. So there's a big difference between when somebody says, I know I am that, versus I can see I am that.
The feelings.
And Ananta posted a poem. She said, don't talk about your problems. If you don't understand this, just keep quiet. Don't say anything. Keep quiet, my love. Keep quiet, my love. And there should be more before. See when it starts. Yes. Just keep quiet. Just keep quiet. I am a slave of love. I am a devotee of my master. With me, just talk about him. Nothing else. Don't talk about your suffering mind. Don't talk about your problems. If you don't understand this, just keep quiet. Don't say anything. Keep quiet, my love. Keep quiet. So, yes, yes. And this keep quiet can be actually misunderstood to be just the external keep quiet. That's why your question is very good. You say that, does this mean the same thing as don't believe your next thought? It means to be, just to be, let everything just come and go without engaging, without resisting, just to be. Our belief is a resistance. That's why we say that your power of belief is God's power to pretend. And when this inward quietness settles inside you, then external words not so noisy. When you're truly quiet inside, then outside can be full of noise, but you are not touched by it. Then Annette says, there's more, but I don't see it reading well here, and I will miss Satsang to post it all, so I just keep quiet. Sweet. Yes, ma'am.
Just gonna come back here. I probably said this like last month, and I don't really know what I'm gonna say, but just like with some strong to say. It's like in one sense, it's like there's like complete clarity that only like like the true I, is here. But also like what comes like sometimes, and um, it's just like the sense of like you and me, and in some way it's like maybe like an energetic addiction to like devotion, like this. Um, I don't know, like I'm not really seeing it as like a problem, but I just wanted to say it, and since I wanted to say anything like in many words came out. So it's like even like they can somehow it's like I don't know. It's like as if they're both there at the same time because I'm seeing that it's not what I am, and I'm not even this like emotion that is gone, that's not like it's just there.
This devotion, this love is in service to your presence. And I'm right there as your own presence. So this devotion is bound to be devoted to your being. It's very beautiful when it appears, and it is not in any contradiction with our non-separation, not in any contradiction with our oneness. It's very beautiful and can be enjoyed completely. The presence of this devotion. Sometimes the mind can come with some fear about, is this personal? But this devotion itself will dissolve all that is personal. Because it is in service to your own being, to the Master which is your own heart, to the Father which is your own heart. As my Master says, it is alright to be attached to one who is not attached, because that one will never fuel your attachments. All will burn in that. So if this beautiful gift of devotion has been presented to you, you must enjoy it its full extent. Yes. Did we read this question? The one who wants to be free, is it the same one seeing problems and division? Yes.
Ananta, can I?
You can come, my dear.
Yeah, thank you. What just happened is touching so deep. Last night I was watching things with Kangaji and Papaji, and then the interviewer asked Papaji, "Is there one thing you regret in your life?" And he was already old. His body was already old. And then he said no. And then 5 minutes later he came back and he said, "Yes, there is one thing I regret, and that I cannot throw this old body on the floor anymore when I wake up in the morning as honor to my and surrender to Maharaj." I cried a lot. And I notice every time, I don't know the good word, jealousy. But if I see you and I look to your eyes when you talk about Moji about Papaji, and I see this high level of devotion, I get jealous. I love you so much, but you know what I mean? This divine love, I mean, I want to have that. Is that selfish, or I miss it? I think every time I see this high level of devotion, total surrender, total, then I see such a light, I want to have that now, not tomorrow, or not tonight, now. I'm fed up. Can you give that to me? Can you grant that to me, please? I want to love, not human, but your love, divine love.
That is always on offer. That is always on offer here. You see? But what does happen is that this love, this devotion is in service to your being. It's automatically present in service to your being. It's here to serve you, your being. You see? It is not ever going to serve the one that says that I want something.
I know. I know.
So this one that wants something is the one that you must offer to me, and you will find that in your heart there is already this devotion present.
I offer it to you all.
Then all I see is love and devotion.
Maybe it's too much waiting for experience, but
Yes, but now the one who's waiting for experience, the one who wants something, has been handed over, isn't it? So now rest for just a minute in this not waiting, not wanting. And then show me if there is love and devotion or not.
Yes, my heart is streaming over right now. But then that person comes and said, yeah, but I want to stay there.
This one you keep with me.
I
This one
know,
you
take it,
don't.
keep it with you, don't send it back. I don't want it anymore. I don't know, I don't want no wants. But they are there. But I'm also so happy last time, so before we were talking about thought, and I noticed to myself from I'm getting more and more happy with my thoughts. Because before I started to try to manage it, but I found out I cannot. And now automatically, it's not I don't do this self-inquiry anymore. It rises up. And on the moment the thought is there, maybe some 1 minute, maybe some 1 hour, or a belief, or a want, or and then rise up the spontaneous self-inquiry. And my whole stomach starts to laugh inside. So my own thoughts are bringing me more and more fun. Fun in the way from
Exactly.
nothing.
Now you realize that it has always been a stand-up comedian inside your head.
Yes, but sometimes it's nice to look at him. I mean,
Yes, it's good to laugh at it.
he brings joy.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
It's very funny. When it's not confused as me, then everything the mind says is very funny actually.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, my love. Thank you so much.
But you promised me, eh? You
Yeah.
keep my wants with you.
Yes, I
Lovely.
Priya had to go. Love you too, my dear. Thank you.
You're just not.
Song time. Hmm.
You know, whenever I go dancing,
Okay.
Satyamai Parameshwari Anandamai Chaitanyamai 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 Satyamai Parameshwari Satyamai Parameshwari Satyamai Parameshwari
Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho. Okay, my dear, we can play the invocation now.
Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dhyanmulam Gurur Murti, Pujamulam Gurur Padam, Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam, Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa, Mokshamulam Mujiji Kripa, Mokshamulam Anantaji Kripa. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu, sarvesham shantir bhavatu, sarvesham purnam bhavatu, sarvesham mangalam bhavatu, sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramya, sarve patrani pashantu, magasyet dugbhak bhavet. Asatoma satkamya, tamasoma jyotirgamya, mrichurma amritam gamya. Om Purnamida Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Brahma Paramastu. Om Shri Satguru Bhagavan Ki Jai. Om Shri Satguru Mujiji Ki Jai.
Thank you also very much for being in Satsang today. Sadguru Sri Mojiji Ki Jai.
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 Yay.
Jai. Jai.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you for moderating today. We can turn the broadcast off now.